Welcome. Thank you for joining me tonight. We've got a few on here. Just pop up your hello and where you're from if you're new, or otherwise, if you're a regular, I can say hello. So, my name is Danielle. I am the Divine Channeler. I will be here for the next hour and a bit. Tonight is really about sharing with you some messages from Spirit on a psychic level, but also as a trance channel. So that's where I connect with high dimensional beings of light. Hi, Leanne. Nice to see you here. So I do have a few things coming up, a few things in the pipeline. Hi, Gayleen. Weekend's going well, thank you. I managed to get a bit of rest, which is really what I needed. Okay, so I'm just going to let you guys know about a few things that I have coming up. I'll just have to try and put them in date order if I can. So the first thing coming up is the Living Wellness and Psychic Expo. As many of you know, that is the other hat that I wear. I am the founder of Living Wellness and Psychic Expo, and we've been operating for 5 years now with events across New South Wales. So I'm really humbled that we've got such a beautiful group of exhibitors that are coming from their heart space, and it is like a little bit of a soul family, bringing everyone together in order to be able to connect with the public and share everything that we have to offer. So we'll be at Young next on Sunday the 25th of June, which is not too far away. We'll be there from 10:30 a.m. until 5 p.m. and it is at the Young Services Club, so in Cloyd Street. So if you're in Young or in the area, please drop in. It's only $8 entry and $5 concession. Promos have started to go up on my other page on Living Wellness Events, and you can see so far our readers that are up. I will be reading at this event, so I'm looking forward to connecting with you all. The next thing I have coming up, which will be in July, and it is a psychic awareness and spiritual healing workshop with the Psychic Pinup. We've done a couple of these and they've been really well received. We help complement each other in the sense that Linda will be taking the psychic awareness and development aspect of the workshop, and I'll be diving deep into the spiritual healing. So just know that if you have been before, that each event is different. Linda will gear her exercises a little bit differently if you've been before, and obviously as a trance channel, Spirit never tends to repeat anything, so I will be offering something completely different as well. I know we've done persecution and we've done clearing all interference with the third eye, so it'll be interesting to see what happens this time. So if you would like to grab a seat for that event, it runs all day from 10 till 5. You can contact myself, the number's on the bottom of the screen, or message me directly and we can book you in. Okay. So all the people that are here, welcome. Thank you for joining me tonight. Like I said at the beginning, I will be here for the next hour and a bit. It will be split into 2 parts where I'll be doing some psychic readings, and then I'll be moving into a trance channel transmission where you'll get to experience high dimensional beings of light that are being channeled through me for your experience and your healing. So just a couple of things. So I offer trance-channeled meditation and ascension classes. They happen online on a Thursday from 6 p.m. through till 7:30 p.m. And if you like the trance channel, or even if you want to go and have a look on my YouTube channel, which is the Divine Channeler, there will be a couple of trance channels that are on there that are set out in the meditation space. They are from a number of years ago. Please know that Spirit has been guiding us into higher development. They are still current. They will always be current, but just know that they are a couple of years old. So if you want to join one of them, they happen on Thursday at 6 o'clock till 7:30. It's a beautiful, small, intimate group. We all support each other, and it's only $25. If you can't make a class, then I have a subscription for you if you are interested. So just think about your psychic questions while I'm letting you know what I have going on. The other thing that I do, trying to find it. Okay, we're going to go with this one then. Not sure if many of you remember, but I do all things that go bump in the night. So I love all my work. I thoroughly enjoy all of my work, but this one, I really enjoy this work. So any earthbound spirits, so I am a medium, so it means that I can be in communication with earthbound spirits. I also have the ability to sense energies from its densest form to its highest form. So we're talking non-human entities. And I can clear house and land, and also ley line healing. So if you have any disruption, any interference, anything that goes bump in the night, I can help you with that. I work remotely. I don't have to be on the premises because I can remote view and tune in to what's going on in each room, and you're actually involved in the process as well. So I set you up in a meditation space, and then I will basically narrate what's going on, most of what I'm seeing. Okay, now there was one more, and I'm not sure where that went. Classes, it's gone. Okay. Healings is the other thing. So pop your questions up, guys. Let me know what you would like some insight in. And just bear in mind, it's a public forum. Just bear in mind that this is just a snippet, tiny little snippet of what you would get in a reading. Okay, that's what left my reading image. So just remember that you need to be very specific with your questions. I don't do generals. I have never answered general questions in my readings. So I prefer that you be very specific on the information that you're after, and then that way we can get straight to it. So we've got 12 people on here. Okay, so I'll just talk about the readings. So I do have the ability to communicate with animals as well. So if there's any pet questions, I am psychic. I receive all my information from spirit. I don't use any cards. Not to say that there's any issue with cards. I've had plenty of card readings and tarot card readings for myself, and they've been incredibly accurate and insightful. But the way I read is that I don't use any. Okay. So if you are interested in readings, you can contact me. My phone number is at the bottom of the page. Otherwise, you can just message the Facebook page. Now, what's going on, guys? Why haven't we got any questions? If no one's got any questions, then we'll just go. Okay, here's one. Chris, so I'm not doing mediumship only because it takes quite a bit of time to get the validation. You really need validation. Okay, but let me just bring you up and have a look. Hi, Chris. Hello. I have just lost my very dear friend, and I need to know if she passed peacefully. So maybe what I can offer you is some insight into what happens. So it's funny because in my readings, what Spirit's been showing me is silver cord. There's a silver cord that's connected energetically to to this vessel, to your physical vessel. And as you move through the transition, the silver cord ends up being unraveled or severed, and that's when the soul leaves the body. Okay, so there's no need for the body anymore, and they make that transition. Sometimes people can hang on. It feels like your friend had quite a bit of fight in her. So I do want to say that in the transition, that it can be a difficult process for people to let go of the physicality. And the physical body is amazing in the sense of how long it can keep going for. But just know, once they start to make that transition and they're in this space of between here, they're flipping between here and there, as in the other side, and out of their body, and they're very aware of the spirits that are around, that are here to collect them and help them make an easy transition. And just know that that can happen for quite some time before. And that's why they might comment about old Uncle Bob that suddenly entered into the room, but Uncle Bob died 20 years ago. That's because they are communicating with that spirit. They've come to help them with their transition. But just know, when they do finally let go, that it is one of um, I'm just going to go with what they're showing me, what Spirit's showing me, is a brilliant amount of light, which is fairly stereotypical, I know, but that's kind of how it works. And they are free of all the physical aches and pains and issues and beliefs and hurts and all of it, the emotions. And they will move into a transition. Once they're finished this transition, they'll move into another transition, and that transition is a review of what they experienced while they were here in this lifetime, and that will set them up for basically their next lifetime, what they would like to do. So I hope that helps, Chris. Yeah, and just know that everyone, when they do go, there is that peace and that unconditional love when they finally let go. Okay. Leanne, has your dog passed? Is that what you're talking about, or is he with you? If you can just let me know that, because we have, I was getting itchy nose, because we have numerous pets in our life. In order for me to ascertain who you're talking about, if I can have his name, that would be fantastic, because then I can really anchor in on him. No worries, Chris. I hope that helped. Just call her in your heart, and sit down when you're having a cup of tea, and just have a conversation with her, because she'll be around and she'll be listening. Okay. Bo. Okay. How does my dog feel, Bo? Let me just tune into Bo. Just give me a second. Bo. I'm seeing. Sounds so weird to say these things sometimes. I'm seeing a very hairy dog. Now, I know all dogs are hairy, but in particular, this one is like fuzzy or fluffy or long haired. I'm seeing shaggy hair. Has he got issues with his hips? I'm seeing it around the back end of his body, and there's something to do with a tightness in his chest, is what I am being shown. So this is, yes, he is very hairy. Thank you. Because I'm like, oh, what a weird thing to say. But like I say in all my classes, weird, the word weird does not exist in all that I have seen and experienced. So there's no weird. Okay, yes, he is very hairy. And yes, so I presume, yes, he's got issues with his hips and there's something going on with the chest. I don't feel like he's old age. I feel like he's kind of sitting maybe not quite in the middle, a little bit further along. Um, there is issues with the joints. I'm not sure if he's got dysplasia or there's some arthritis, but I'm being shown inflammation in the joints, particularly in the pelvis. It's not so much in the, I don't know, the elbows, if that's what you call them on dogs. Um, yeah, so it's interesting that you are here because I've just popped my dog. Excellent. Okay, thank you so much for the confirmation. This is how it works better to and fro. So I've just popped my old boy. He's not an old boy, he's 11. He's told me he's going to be here for quite some time. He is down the other end of the house. He is a golden retriever Labrador, and they're prone to hip issues, but his are in his elbows. So I've noticed some issues. So what I've done is, and by all means, this is a suggestion. I'm not a naturopath. I'm not a herbalist. I'm not any of those things. I can't give you a recommendation, but I can share what I did with my dog. So I went to McDowell's in Bathurst and explained everything that was going on with my dog to the owner, and we've popped him on a mobility tincture and the osteo dog supplement, and I have noticed a difference in him just in a couple of weeks. So if that is something that you would like to explore, that's my experience with my dog, and I just know that it has helped him. So it might be something that you could look at if you wanted to. Okay, so I hope that helps. Regarding his happiness, I think there is a fair amount of pain, and um, it's funny with the dogs, they tend to internalize a lot of their pain. You don't, unless it's very apparent physically what's going on, a lot of the time they don't make any noise, or they don't, yeah, it's really quite subtle. So does he like the water? Oh no, it's the wrong time of year. It's so totally the wrong time of year. But they're showing me water. So maybe when summer comes, if you can give him the option to be able to paddle in the water, that would be a really good thing to help support his weight, and just to get, is he a little bit overweight as well? Okay, so I don't know what you mean by he does, because there's a 30-second delay. So just let me know if he's a little bit overweight as well, because they're showing me the buoyancy in the water and how it'll take the pressure off his joints. So yeah, I hope that helps, Leanne. It's challenging as they get older and they get symptoms. So okay. Gayleen, got some ringing in your ear. Once again, I am not a medical professional, so if you do find you've got physical symptoms, by all means, please go and seek a medical professional to get that looked at. But I do know that there's chakras in the ears, okay? And as we are going through ascension symptoms, we can receive a lot of ringing. Your ears can block as well and unblock. You could have both ears ringing one separate times. Sometimes it can be a language that spirit's talking to you about. Different spirits that are coming into the left, another one's coming from the right. But that language, that connection, is something that you need to figure out. In this regard, I feel that it is because what I'm being shown is the light that's coming in through the sun, which comes not only from our sun, but it goes through the central sun and the greater central sun. So it's a light codes that are coming in, and we're all receiving them whether we're aware or not, which can mean a number of things. It can shake our life up completely. It can we can shift jobs, we can shift relationships, we can purge and go into our own shadow and lift core wounding that's sitting there. We can go through a number of physical symptoms with ascension symptoms, and they're physical. So by all means, please get them checked. And if everything comes up clear, then you might have a better idea that it is ascension symptoms. But one of them is ringing in the ears. Have you had something going on with your belly as well, Gayleen? Like whether it be fluttering or it kind of feels like an anxiousness and it just comes and goes. Does that make sense? Just let me know. Thanks, Tammy. You're going great guns up there. I'm so happy for you, lovely. I'm happy for your new exciting life and that you can just blossom and be everything that you were always meant to be. You were always meant to shine. You were always meant to help other people. And I am so very excited for you and grateful to know you, lovely. So, yeah, thank you for your kind words. I'm very excited to see what happens in your world. And I'd love to come up there too. Why not? I'm going to go here, there, and everywhere. Okay, so we'll just see. Okay, you don't feel it's medical. Okay, Galen has a little bit of information on. Okay. Oh, great. Okay, we live by the lake, but he isn't overweight. Great. Okay, so what they're showing me is that suspension in the water, which will help build his muscles up, but not put a lot of pressure on his joints, which would be beneficial. Now, Galen has a recommendation, a suggestion. Was rose hip vital for dogs' joints? So thank you for that. No, nothing with the belly. Okay. All right. No worries. Just take that on board, and hopefully you don't get that. But that was what I was feeling. It's not anxiousness, but there's a fluttering. So it could be a shift with your solar plexus, is because that's the area that it's sitting in. So just keep an eye out on that, and keep an eye out on if you are standing in your power and when people are attempting to take your power off you. Okay, so just keep an eye out on that. Okay. Oh, Tian, God bless you. It's incredibly difficult. And that is the key, that you sit in that grief. It's designed that way. You are it's necessary that you process what you're feeling and um be okay with being in that space. It's incredibly challenging. I understand it very well. But when we lose two members really close together, that is a whole other level of grief to try and process all at once. So I am sending you lots of love, okay, and just seek spaces that support you. You know, somewhere that supports you could be somewhere really nice and quiet that you just take some time for yourself. I know it's obviously probably pretty busy and overwhelming at this moment, but it's really important that you look after you as well and honor whatever your process is. Okay, and it just, I know they say it takes time. It it takes healing, and healing takes time, from my experience. Okay. You're welcome, Leanne. Thank you. Okay. Oh, thanks, Tammy. I'll head up there at some stage for sure. Okay. Um, Jamea Peters. So I'm not doing any mediumship readings. Okay. It's a little difficult with the 30-second delay to be able to receive the validation that I need in order to get it flowing. Because if you see a medium, you should really get you really need to get validation that they have your person, um, and and then they can bring through the message. Okay, no worries, Gayleen. Okay. Um, I'm going to say that I feel like your dog is around quite regularly. And when you've got another dog, right? Like I can see that you've got a dog on your profile picture, but that doesn't mean that you've got one now. But I feel like you've got another dog. And um, when the dog puts its head up in the air and does a little sniff, it's not because there's like, it's not when you've got anything cooking, but that is your signal that your other dog is around. Does that make sense? Um, yeah, that's what I'm being shown. Now, the thing is with pets, with animals, they have a very different view. They're not as emotionally attached to um, the process of death as we are. So they're quite matter of fact. I've communicated with animals that a friend of mine from many years ago had to put down her dog, and I communicated with her dog before the passing, and the dog was very accepting that this was the best way forward for them, and it was quite incredible to speak to them beforehand. So they really don't they they have concern for their owners, um, because they've been a part of your life, and they want you to be happy. But regarding them and their journey and what they do next, they they're not concerned like us humans are over death. They understand it and process it very well, and then before you know it, they're back again. So it is not surprising for an animal to choose you again in another form in the same lifetime. So I do know that when I did an animal communication course, I connected with my it was my childhood horse that I had, and I had her for the longest. I had her 10 years, and I had to get her put down, and that was incredibly devastating. And she told me that she actually we'd had past lives together, so she was showing me times where she was a horse again, and we'd had past lives. But she also expressed that she'd brought my dog, who is with me now and has been with us for about 8 years, that she had instigated and orchestrated bringing him to us as well. So if they're not here, they're kind of working behind the scenes, and there's that soul connection that we have with our animals. And it'll be simple things like I didn't want a dog. I rented and I didn't want an animal, and it so happened that I had a vision. My kids both had dreams about him, and I just accepted that he was meant to be in our lives. So I said yes. And something similar happened with my daughter's new dog, and that I didn't push against it any longer. I just accepted that he was wanting to be part of our family. So, yeah. Excellent. Thank you. Okay. So, yes, you definitely feel him. Yes, I have another dog. And yes, he lets me know that. Yep. That's beautiful. Okay. Where are we up to? Half an hour. Okay. Is it to so Tian has expressed it was her sister and somebody else. Can't find your... It's your sister and your brother-in-law, I think you said. Anyway, is it too early to get any signs from her? Your brother-in-law, thank you. So from a medium, if it's recent, yes. Because your grief needs to be experienced, because it's part of your letting go, especially, and then your healing. Mediums don't recommend that you see them for about 6 months after the death. Okay. And that is because you need to go through your process. Regarding signs, there will be signs coming in from your people that you will understand have come from them. Okay. What happens with the grief is that it's heavy. I understand how heavy it is, and it makes us feel like we're even further away from them. But just know that they are around and they are looking out for everyone, because I'm seeing the whole family, the extended family, and there will be signs, there will be songs, and there'll be a particular flower that you'll see a repetition of, okay, that will remind you of each of them, okay? And just ask for a sign, okay, and be open to it. So I hope that helps. Okay, I think that's it on the questions. Now, I'm just going to go back to you, Jemiah. It's interesting. So my dad passed, golly, when I was 13. 23, 40, I'm 49, nearly 50, so we'll just say 50. 37 years ago, he passed. And I know that he's with me all the time, but I also know as a soul that he has developed and he is doing other things on a higher level. I know that he looks after my kids. I know that he visits my mum and his brother. I know that he's with his mother and his father, who also passed. Now, the thing is that with spirit, there is no bounds, no limits. They're limitless. That's why Archangel Michael can be with everyone at any given point, because they're not bound by time and space. So your father, the aspect of your father that you experienced on this earth plane, will definitely still be with you. Regarding your father's soul, there would be development depending on how long he's been there, even though there's no time and space, right? Or what his development is, that there will be that going on as well. So just know that we still stay connected. Okay. I hope that helps give you a little bit of understanding on how that works. Okay. You're welcome, Tian. Oh, we've got a YouTuber. Hey, Mesha. You're welcome. Thank you for joining me. You're welcome, Gayleen. Okay. Let's do a trance channel transmission. Okay. This is a very large part of my work. It's a very large integral part of where my work is taking me as well. I am very blessed to have over 30 different high dimensional beings of light that bring their messages through this vessel, through Danielle. And it is incredibly humbling. um, it is a space, there is no room for ego in this space. Spirit asks us to step up. So for me, I'm very emotional tonight. For me, I need to step up. And that's, I've done a lot of work on myself. I've done, oh my God, I'm getting very emotional. I've done a lot of healing work. I've had lots of trauma like everyone else, but I've actively sought spaces where I can move into introspection and move into a space of self-healing. And it is through that self-healing that a lot of my other work has developed, because you need to create the space. Create the space for your authentic self, for your spirit self, for your higher self to have room to expand. So essentially, that's what I've done over the years. And it comes from the heart. So when I connect with spirit, I I am required to be open. In order to be open, I need to not have as many limitations. And that is something I've actively worked on for decades and will continue to work on, because the work never stops. The personal journey never, ever stops. It's just that we get more proficient at it. We become more and more aware of okay, here we are again. And this space is very familiar, and I understand what I'm being shown through this experience, and I know where my wounds are. And for me, it's very much like I don't pussyfoot around it anymore. I just grab that bull by the horns and go, okay, let's go. Because I have the ability to let go. I have the ability to heal, and so does everyone. But I also seek healers to help me move through stuff, because other people can quite often get in a little deeper or see things a little clearer. And I only went to my healer the other week, and I'll be back on another round of clearing stuff. I tend to go through a bit of a purge session. And I go every week and I clear a ton of stuff, and then I come back and have a pause moment and just recalibrate and go again when other stuff comes up. Now, they're just referring me to my elbow, because your body is the barometer of your emotional being. So if you do have, now bear in mind, I'm not a medical professional, but Louise Hay spoke about that and built her whole business on the fact that your body, your issues are in your tissues. So when I had this elbow issue come up recently, and I know that it's connected to change, and it's connected to the nerve, which is about being irritated and agitated. I dived into it with my beautiful healer friend, and cleared that stuff. And now that nerve isn't impinged anymore. I can feel that it's released, and it's still very sensitive, as it would be, because it's been locked in and for a little while now. But that's all part of the healing process. The body takes a little bit longer to catch up. The work that I do in a trance channel, when we're working on a soul level, on the DNA, instant. It's instant. But the physical body, because it's resonating at a much denser and slower frequency, takes a little bit longer to catch up. Okay. Alrighty. So who's new here that has not done a trance channel with me? The trance channel is a beautiful space where I connect with high dimensional beings of light. This is a space that I free fall. I jump off the cliff like the fool in the tarot, and I take that leap and allow spirit to catch me. If it was a class that I run on Thursdays, I will tune into spirit and they will give me a brief of what we're doing so that I can explain it to the class. But this space is just a little bit different. You know, spirit will always, hi Mesha, you're new, thank you for joining. Spirit will always encourage us to get out of our comfort zone, because that's the space of growth, is getting out of your comfort zone. And it's not whether you fail or succeed, it's about the willingness to try, to give it a go. Okay. There'll be redirections, there'll be new doors open, there'll be new connections, there'll be old connections lost, there'll be all of it. Okay. In order to, if you just know that spirit is always there with a comforting, guiding hand on the middle of your back or the small of your back, just gently urging you into places. And this can even be the places that are challenging. And they're challenging for a reason, because it's generally looking back at your issues and your core wounding. I can guarantee you it'll sit somewhere within you. And that's why we're shown these things time and time again, in order to hopefully see it and then acknowledge it, and then seek ways to be able to help yourself to move through it, because everything can be healed. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm going to free fall with spirit. It is a space of giving and receiving. It is a space for openness. So I do ask that you eliminate any distractions, that you uncross your body, that you have a quiet, comfortable space to be in. I ask that you are open in your mind and open in your heart. Spirit will utilize my physical vessel, and that means that they'll utilize my energetic system, so my chakras. And with that, they also utilize my voice box. So we've all heard my speaking voice, how that sounds, depending on who's coming through. Well, actually, every high dimensional being of light that comes through will have a different tone, a different frequency. So I always teach that when you're connecting with spirit, it's more important that you connect to the energetic signature than concern yourself with their name. The names will come. The names are something that we like as humans. But just know that once you know that energetic signature, then it will be easier for you in that connection. And as you're learning, it is easier regarding any interference, if that was to come in, that that that's Archangel Michael, and that's Archangel Raphael, and that that's your higher self, and that yeah. So the energetic signature is important, that you understand, that you can get to know, and then the name is just the name. Okay. I'm just turning off my heater because the noises can be distracting for the channel. Let's move that mic. Okay, let's see what Spirit has in store for us and who is coming through. I've got a very strong feeling of Archangel Michael, but as many of you know, Archangel Michael I made an agreement with many years ago when I started trance channeling. because I went through an experience where there was a entity that come in that was not of a high vibration, and there was a bit of trickery going on, and it took quite a lot of energy to push and pull this entity out of my field, my energetic field. So not long after that, and it all has to do with my vibration as well. So I don't get bothered by any of that anymore because I can hold a much higher vibration, and sometimes it's just part and parcel of the learning of as you're going along as a trance channel, unfortunately. Um, so Michael, Archangel Michael, I made an agreement with him. I just said it out loud and I asked that he would be my guardian, that he would govern over my body, and meaning like my crown area, and so that anything that wanted to communicate through me must go through him first. So he's my security officer, which I am very thankful for. So in this instance, I'm feeling Michael come in first and foremost. Okay. So just take a couple of deep breaths. Give me a second, 30 seconds or so, and I will tune in and we will see who is coming through. Welcome, beloved ones. It is I, Michael. I am most pleased to be with you at this time. It has been some time since this one has brought me through to you, and I am most pleased to be here. We would like you to consider that your body is a sacred vessel that houses your DNA. Your DNA is a system that not only dictates what you look like in your physicality, but it is a whole other system that will record in the cellular memory all of your existences that you have had across all time and space, all dimensions, all universes, and all multiverses. This DNA also records on an ancestral level what you have experienced in your families, and this is now termed as transgenerational trauma. So it is an amazing component of your bodies that you are designed and shaped in so many different ways. And we understand that the ancestral burden can be quite heavy upon some of you. And that you may not only be feeling the burden from the mother or the father, but this can go back to the times of war and the times of starvation and the times of deep struggle and pain. And you may wonder where some of your experiences in this life come from. And they can come from the DNA. They can come from the imprint of what your family has experienced, but also the cellular memory of your karmic cycles with the other participants, the other souls that you have connected with in each lifetime. And please know that you regularly connect with the same souls lifetime after lifetime to experience both sides of the sword, as they say, that you have not always been light, that you have been the perpetrator as much as you have been the victim. And this is how karma works, is that there will be a cause and an action, and then in the next lifetime it will reverse in order to get a whole experience. So we understand that many of you are feeling pain at this time, whether it be emotional, mental, or physical pain. We would like to guide you in the next few minutes or so to help clear what is happening in your energetic field so that you may feel a little lighter. And you may like to practice this daily in order to help prepare you for the day, but also to help cleanse away all that you have accumulated from the day. All of your thoughts, your feelings, the thoughts and feelings of others. That is energy communicating. So, as you may be annoyed with another person and you are thinking about that, that energy will be directed towards that person. And the same goes for somebody else thinking that about you. And if we carry too much of this directed energy, it can overwhelm your energetic system where you can feel heavy, weighed down. It can even eventually cause sickness. So the idea is to clean house, as they say, to energetically live in a space that supports you. And this can be as simple as cleaning the windows, washing the curtains, dusting, having a tidy up, clearing out the clutter. It always makes the person feel better in the space. So once you tidy house, it's time to tidy the house that is embodying your soul, your energy field. So we ask that you take a few deep breaths, that you acknowledge your divine purpose here upon the planet, upon Mother Earth at this time. It is no accident that you are here right now, with the relationships, the associations, with the opportunities, with the positions you are in. It is no accident. They are all spaces to learn and grow. Everything is an opportunity. So feel Mother Earth beneath your feet. Feel the connection that you have with her, the importance of you being upon this planet at this time. And acknowledge that you are connected to spirit, that you are connected to a higher power, to Source, Creator God, whichever name you align with. And feel the light and the love that is coming from Mother Earth and Source directly into you. And allow yourself to expand in this light. But first, you must acknowledge your own light, the light in your heart. And this light is the same light And you may feel the pressure upon your chest as your heart chakra begins to open. And love is always, always going to be the key in your healing. That you have a deep love, a deep respect, a deep honor for thyself. When you do that and see yourself as you truly are, you will be able to acknowledge everyone as the same. That we are all just learning, experiencing. So feel your heart beginning to blossom and your energy field expanding. And we're just going to call in now some violet light of transmutation and transformation. And the violet light is just permeating in through the layers of the aura, in through the chakra system, into the body, into the organs, the bone, the blood, the tissues, the ligaments, the skin, all of it. Allow yourself to be flooded with the violet light. And now surrender. Surrender what has been troubling you. Surrender the over processing in your brain. For there is only love. Surrender the fears and worries. For there is only love. Feel the violet light gently collect the emotions that are no longer serving you, that are hidden, that are suppressed and repressed. Then you may have memories, flashes of these memories come up, just to acknowledge where they are connected to. And ask that all cords and threads and attachments become highlighted in the light. These are energetic ties to other people, and they could be coming from you or they could be coming to you. We can have healthy ties and unhealthy ties. Someone that you love very dearly, a partner or a child. You may have a beautiful, strong cord, a thread of connection into the heart space. But if there is someone that is overpowering and dominant and controlling, then maybe there is a cord connected into your solar plexus or into your third eye or into your throat. And when you are ready, just ask the violet light to move into these cords and threads and attachments, to release them, to release you from these connections that no longer serve. And while this happens, we also ask that all thought forms and energetic residue be transmuted by the violet light. There is only love. There is only love. And as all energies, external energies, are released and transmuted, the violet light begins to dissipate. And entering into the space is a golden light, a vibrant gold light. It may have flecks of other colours that is particular to your needs at this time. And just see your energy field bathed in the golden light. But there is only love. See it weave its way through your auric layers, through your chakras, deep into your body, into all the organs, and into the cells of your body. You may like to say that I am love, I am peace, I am joy, I am gratitude, I am limitless, I am abundant, I am all that I am. And feel the difference in your body, in your mind, in your heart from this simple intention, this simple process that you can do anywhere, anytime to assist you. And I, Michael, stand before you. And if you ask me, I will offer protection for you. So I am here as well as many others that are here to serve you. And as I stand before you, I have a message or a gift to deliver to you. Receive this now. Remember who you are. Remember that you are light, you are powerful, you are a co-creator, that you have the ability. For we see you in this light. As you begin to come back into the space, you will be anchoring all that you have experienced into your reality. You will be anchoring the healing and all the golden light that you have woven into your energy field. So we ask now that you call yourself back very gently and very slowly, calling yourself back, becoming aware of your feet and the connection with Mother Earth, knowing that your body is anchored and grounded as she gently draws you back in, allowing the noises inside the space and outside of the space to all serve on bringing you back very gently and very slowly. coming back into awareness of the body, feeling the breath moving in and out, feeling the position of the body, the clothing and the coverings upon the body as you come all the way back now, back into full awareness of this space, full awareness of this moment, and full awareness of your physicality. And just creating some gentle movement now, wriggling your hands and toes, coming all the way back, and just having a stretch, taking a few deep breaths, and in your own time, when you are ready, opening your eyes. Okay. Thank you for everyone that stuck around for that. It has been quite some time since Michael has come through. Um, while I don't have difficulty channeling anymore, a number of years ago, Michael was the easiest one, the easiest in and out of my energy field. So he's someone that I used to channel regularly if I was in front of an audience, as I was getting accustomed to doing a trance channel in front of an audience. So it was nice. It was nice to reconnect with him. So if you have any feedback on what you experienced, if you got a gift, how your energy field is feeling now, it really is a simple process to use the violet light. I use it quite regularly. It's so vitally important that they're just showing me, like, when you're on the phone to a friend and maybe they've got a bit of stuff going on, and you're being supportive, all the energies that they're feeling, like if they're angry or upset, there'll be an element of you absorbing some of that. So it's a really good idea, because it always is in love. It's we never release any energy in anger or cut anything, or that doesn't work. So it's always in love that we do that. So it's um, it's okay. Like, it is okay to release the energies that you have acquired during those interactions. Okay. Um, if you've been downtown at the supermarket, if you've had a challenging day at work, if you've had a challenging day with customers, if your kids are driving you up the wall, anything, because energy doesn't only come from externally, it comes from internally as well. So you're responsible for how you act and react, and what you extend to others. You're responsible for that. So use that practice. Come back. I can't remember what time it was when we started the channel. It might have been 40 minutes in, maybe. Come back, repeat it. It's going to be up live on YouTube and Facebook. It'll be there. So use it as much as you can in order to get more familiar with your own authentic energy field, because it means that when you understand your own field, it means that you'll become acutely aware when there is something that is amiss within your energy field. And it could be something that's being projected, or something that you've picked up, or some work that needs to be done. So, yeah. So I hope that helped. Gayleen, you are most welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm glad you feel totally calm and relaxed. Like I always say, they leave me feeling better than when I started. So, yeah. Hi, Emily. Oh, your daughter watched too. That's fantastic. um, that's really good. The kids get it. They totally get it. All right, beautiful people. I will be back here next Monday. I hope you have enjoyed your long weekend. If you are interested in receiving a soul guidance healing session or a soul guidance reading from me, if you need a house clearing, if you are interested in the workshop that I have coming up with the psychic pinup, please just call the number on the bottom of the screen and I can book you in. And we've just got one more. Thank you. You're welcome, lovely. Excellent. Yeah, and I will see you next Monday at 7:30 p.m. And I really look forward to it. And in the meantime, be kind to yourselves, guys. Okay. Thank you. Bye.